Welcome everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to this week's episode of the weekly HO Scale newsletter recap for November 24th, 2025. If you're new to the series, this is where we take a look at product updates and announcements from a variety of different HO Scale manufacturers. As always, before we get started, do me a favor and subscribe if you haven't already. It's completely free and helps me to make a few dollars, so really appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoyed as well, and drop me a comment if you're excited about anything we talk about here this week. Let me know anything new coming to your layouts, and of course if I missed anything so that I can go ahead and cover it next week. We'll go ahead and get started with Broadway Limited. And kicking us off right away is a new product announcement. We have some new GP35s coming from Broadway Limited in HO Scale. This picture shows some of the ones coming in this run, a couple returning from the previous run, such as BNSF, with a bunch of new ones though. Order deadline is February 12th for guaranteed pre-orders, with an expected delivery next summer. Here are most of the paint schemes in this run. We'll take a brief look at the Hobby Express exclusives in just a second. Have the rebuilt GP39-2s for BNSF, which is pretty neat. Always love the Rio Grande scheme. That's the small lettering version coming this time. A couple high hoods also in this run, Savannah and Atlanta shown there, and a very neat Sioux Line 1776, honoring the bicentennial. Of course, Union Pacific and this neat Merry Christmas scheme, which I think is pretty neat. Let's take a quick look and check out the other schemes exclusive to Hobby Express. And jumping here to Broadway Limited's website just to show you the other schemes coming, you'll see in parentheses the Hobby Express exclusives here, a bunch of Ohio-based railroads, ACY and PNWV, as well as Western Maryland in the very nice circus paint scheme. Offered both Paragon 4 or DCC ready as well down below. These can only be ordered directly through Hobby Express, and big props to the few of you actually that sent me this link before Broadway Limited's official announcement, so good detective work on your end. And jumping back to the newsletter, in N-Scale, new additions to their upcoming run of SD70ACes, including the Landmark series, the new OCS power or Office Car Special power for Norfolk Southern. Unfortunately, it was too late for them to add it to the HO Scale versions. They did confirm these will be a part of the next run of ACEs in HO Scale though. Same order deadline of February 12th with an expected summer 26 delivery for these models in N Scale. Not surprised at all that Broadway Limited was the first ones to announce these, especially given this upcoming run in N Scale. And a quick order reminder section, models that are due for pre-orders by December 4th. Both of these should arrive next summer. First up are the Union Pacific Early Challengers. This is a brass hybrid model for BLI that we've taken a look at before, so I'll just briefly touch on them once again. Also offered Paragon 4 or DCC ready. There's a little bit of prototype information on the actual locomotives. And then some of the product samples from their previous run of these models. They're doing some different paint schemes, including this nice fantasy scheme that they're calling the Ornate scheme. That is, according to them, a pretty big seller, so interestingly enough, a nice unpainted model there shown off. Also due for pre-orders by December 4th are the instruction and exhibit cars. These are not prototypically accurate, but they're a good stand-in, and the first time I believe a manufacturer has even attempted one of these, so pretty cool to see them. There's a little bit of prototype information and some more detail shots. This is not all of the paint schemes. We've covered them before. Just want to touch on them once again. Make sure you don't forget to pre-order these if you're interested. I do like the Great Northern Fire Prevention car with the flames all down the side. And of course the Santa Fe Bicentennial scheme as well. But that's all we've got here from Broadway Limited this week. Let's move on to Aurora Miniatures. And moving on to Aurora Miniatures, they are joining the growing list of manufacturers offering a mystery box. Their version here is priced at $290. This DCC sound version that they're offering comes with a locomotive, and that's definitely going to be either the SD50F or SD60F, as that's their only locomotive so far, and 3 pieces of rolling stock, completely random. They have well cars, box cars, and gondolas, the railgun gondolas. So fairly limited in terms of what they'll be able to be in the box. So if you're looking for something like that and don't really care about the road name, this is really a perfect box for you. They say retail goes for $515 USD. So should be a good deal if you're looking for some Canadian power and some modern box cars, well cars, or those gondolas. And Aurora is also offering a standard freight car mystery box that includes 6 random freight cars from the same lineup as before. Pricing at $165 USD, should retail for around $330 USD in comparison. So once again, if you're just looking for some freight cars, so far I've had great experiences with a couple pieces of rolling stock I've had from Aurora. I may go for this one, not quite sure yet. But if you do end up ordering this, please let me know, of course, what you get in the box. Be excited to know and see what comes in these boxes. But that's all we got here from Aurora for this week. Let's move on to ScaleTrains. And moving on to ScaleTrains, first up they put out a nice video showcasing the Norfolk Southern Heritage units. Here's some side shots of those. I've got a bunch of them so far. I think I have all the ones that I really want so far, except for maybe the Pensy. I think that one's very neat as well. But of course, Conrail and Southern are the top of the list. The Southern is unfortunately already sold out from ScaleTrains. Here's a quick list of their current stock levels as of Friday for all those Norfolk Southern Heritage units. In this run of ES44s were also 4 of the CSX Heritage units. The final 3 we'll cover at the end of the video. I grabbed one of the City Rail patch units for CN in that run. Pretty happy with that one. My first factory patched unit. And I was a bit surprised to see that the BNSF Heritage units were already sold out as well. So if you missed out, of course, check with your local dealer to make sure that you grab one if you're looking for those. Moving on, some quick reminders about pre-orders due the day this video is going live on November 24th. First up are the S-Scale TUFC flat cars and trailers. We'll move pretty quick. We've seen these for the past couple of weeks as well. Just some information there for you. You can buy the trailers separately as well. Some of the different schemes there. And the full list for you. Expected next summer on those. In N-Scale, the most recent run of ET44s is up for pre-order as well, including the hypotypical units that exactly mirror the HO scale run, shown off down here. Those should be arriving this spring. My wallet is not ready for those, but still very excited. Also in N-Scale are the F68CH and DH flat cars. These were run in HO scale as well. List of the paint schemes for you on both of those versions. And on to HO scale a little bit. This is a combined announcement for the Gunderson 2-bay covered hoppers, frequently used in frac sand service. Here's a full list of those, some little bit different features in HO and N scale, a little bit more variety in HO scale coming. Also expected next summer. They put out a nice timed model on their AC44 C6Ms. As part of their most recent announcement of the next run of those with some different details, and the tag unit and the thank you to our railroaders 4822 shown off there. If I do grab another, it'll definitely be the tag unit. I'm still a little bit on the fence to see if I can fit that into the budget. Reminder of the current stock still left in the first run of C6Ms. I got the Sonic bonnet. Main issue in this run were the bent pilots, so hopefully they fix that in the next run. Also announced were the rather unique BNSF AC44C4Ms, only 20 of these in service, ex-Santa Fe units, also expected next summer. Models now in stock though include the Norfolk Southern SD9Ms, very happy with my IRM edition SD7R for Southern Pacific. Here's a full list of those that are currently in stock. See some good things from other people about those models as well. More models in stock that we haven't seen before. This is the third run of their Trinity 82-foot mechanical reefers. This is the 7,883 cubic foot version, so a little bit different from the other run. Here's some of the patched jobs available in this run. The full list of road names and paint schemes for you. Models from the previous run still seem to be in stock, so if you're looking for some of those, definitely check with ScaleTrains or with your local hobby shop if you're looking for some of the past runs. Pretty happy with the models I have. I have some from both the first and second runs. Nice detail variations between the two. Also in stock is their newest run of the Finger Rack Flatcars. They haven't done them in quite a while, so nice to see them making a return. There's some of those paint schemes there for you, flashing by. A little bit of history on these cars since we haven't seen them in the newsletter before, as well as the full list of the road names and paint schemes, including some of those hypotypical versions. Also now in stock is their latest run of SD38-2s, including some neat leaser patch jobs and short lines, which is pretty neat. BN whiteface and standard paint schemes as well, the Cascade Green looking lovely there. There's some of those different road names and some history on the SD38-2s. and the full list of the road names and paint schemes. Tons of them in this run, lots of different versions, especially those DM&IR units, which are also available in the Fox Valley Models PSC 70-ton ore car scheme. If you'd like to grab some and pair them all up, there are some quantity buy discounts for those cars if you're interested. Those are expected to deliver next spring. And also in stock is the final 3 CSX Heritage units that ScaleTrains was doing, as long as CSX does not release any more. These are finally in stock. I believe there were some issues with the factory in terms of quality, and they were sent back, and now they should be good. So there are the 3 now in stock for you. If you're waiting for one of those, the time has come. All of those models we just talked about, from the 38-2s all the way through the Finger Racks, are held with ScaleTrains for pre-orders through December 5th. So if you're looking for some of these that are currently sold out, look after the 5th to see more open up on ScaleTrains' website. Or if you have a pre-order directly, make sure you pay that by then to reserve your model. And Scale AC44C6Ms should be billing in December. Here's a quick look at holiday hours for ScaleTrains. If you're looking to contact them, just a heads up for you there. But that's all we've got from ScaleTrains this week. Let's move on to Athearn. Moving on over to Athearn, a couple of pre-order reminders that are due for pre-orders by this Friday, the 28th. First up are the Roundhouse line High Cube Smooth Side boxcars in the paint schemes shown below. We took a look at all the features a couple weeks ago in their most recent announcements. Also included in the standard Athearn line is their bay window cabooses, including some of the safety liveries. There's a quick look for you. On their Train Tuesday, they talked about their PS1 single sliding door boxcars. If you're interested in that, that's over on their YouTube channel every Tuesday. We have some new product development samples to take a look at. These are the 5-bay rapid discharge hoppers. It's been quite a while since these were announced, but nice to see some sample progress. These are expected to deliver late spring of 2026. I do think this grading on the top is very neat. Looks very well done. And they do come with the loads inside as well. And keeping with the product development shots from Athearn, these are the first pre-production samples of the Amtrak Surfliners, which is the first time we've seen them. Seen some debate online that maybe the gray color might not be quite right. It doesn't seem to be as reflective as maybe the Walthers cars were. I'm not an expert, so please debate in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on these pre-production samples. Sounds like the diaphragms are currently not sprung, but they're still looking into design revisions to make them sprung. That would be a nice feature to have on these cars. Some of the details on the interior look pretty good through the windows here. Does sound like the delivery date has been pushed back to late 2026, especially if they're still in design revision phases. But I'll keep you posted when we do see things come up about these models. I know they've been long awaited. They do have an option to have the cab car with sound already installed. That is only available as part of the set, not the individual cars, but nice to have that option from the factory as well. If you're interested in working with Athearn as well, they are hiring a product manager, so reach out to them through their website if you're interested. And a quick recap of Athearn's holiday hours as well. That's all here from Athearn. Let's move on to Bachmann. Moving on to Bachmann, just some quick shoutouts of some of their Christmas train sets that they have available, just if you're interested in grabbing some, maybe for a family member or yourself to get started. The Scout Elf Express is up first, which does include an elf on a shelf, which is pretty neat. We have the Norman Rockwell Christmas Express. These pretty much all include an oval of track, and they're all standard DC, not DCC ready. Here is the Jingle Bell Express. A little bit different consist for you. And some quick shoutouts in other scales, their N scale Spirit of Christmas, the Merry Christmas Express, and in ON30 or ON30 we have a pretty neat Village Streetcar set with some nice bumpers on both ends. I've got one of those in Lionel that was gifted to me a while ago. Really neat set that I always love setting up. Bachmann also does large scale as well, so here is the Night Before Christmas in a train set if you're looking to grab one of those as well. But that's all here from Bachmann. Let's move on to Walthers. And moving on over to Walthers, quick recap of a model announced last week that caused a little bit of debate. The Genesis P42s are making their way to the mainline series, should be delivering fall of 2026. In my opinion, it's always nice to have more variety and availability in the hobby. Now, it's been a little while since new P42s have delivered, especially from Kato, who doesn't really make much in the HO scale market, and these will come in a bit cheaper than the Athearn models as well. So if you're looking for some of those, you can go ahead and order them from Walthers. They have also been making a lot of Amtrak passenger car announcements recently, so it definitely makes sense for them to have the full set available. Also in their mainline series, now available though, are the 40-foot wood refrigerator cars in a bunch of different paint schemes if you're interested in grabbing some of those. And additionally, the ACF 2-bay covered hoppers were announced a couple weeks ago as well. These are also available for pre-order. Seem to be a pretty nice model once again. And just delivered are the Bowser SD40-2Ws. I've got a pair of them as I'm recording this video on the test track. I'm trying them out, very happy with them so far, so stay tuned for my review. It's definitely going to be a good one. And also, you can purchase modeltrains products directly from Walthers if you're interested, or from your local hobby shop, of course. And also in modeltrains news, Atlas did purchase them over the past week, so just a heads up for you if you missed that announcement. Seems like there's a lot of theories online. I saw Atlas did respond by saying that the US-based modeltrains tooling will be staying in the US. It's probably best to leave a little bit of speculation behind until we hear more details about the arrangement from Atlas directly. They will be producing models in the meantime under the brand modeltrains by Atlas for now, but stay tuned. We'll cover any new updates from that as well. Although it's not always an N-scale feature on the channel, just something I'd cover since we don't have too many buyouts recently in the hobby. But that's all we've got here from Walthers. Let's move on to Bowser. And moving on over to Bowser, we have some new product shots of pretty much everything in the Alco C415 run. Just wanted to show these off because they are some pretty neat models. We've got views of both sides of each model here. Seems like these should be shipping out December 1st. So look for them coming next week to your hobby shop or from Bowser directly if you ordered it that way. I think these models look very sharp. Really like that BN version. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit one into my budget, and I believe the BN versions are selling quite quickly from what it sounds like as well. So stay tuned, maybe I'll be able to grab one. Overall, seems to be a very nice model. Always cool to follow a model a little bit through the development process. We've seen product samples and some paint corrections that Bowser has gone through. Always nice to see that publicly acknowledged, as well as asking for feedback on some of the beacon placement on the SPNS units, just to make sure they get all the details right. And that's all the paint schemes coming in this run of C415s. Also posted by Bowser were some new product shots of the samples of their 70-ton cars. These should be arriving in December as well, it sounds like. Some neat wood chip cars in this run with the extended sides. Lots of nice printing on these models, it seems like. And of course, some with the standard sides and no wood chip load. Nice paint on the end there for the Western Maryland. And that's all the different versions coming in this run from Bowser in their 70-ton hoppers. But that's all we've got here from Bowser. Let's move on to Roka. And next up from Roka Models, we have some new pre-production samples of their upcoming run of DOT 112 spiral jacketed tank cars. These are very similar to the ones that ScaleTrains is doing, but just a little bit different. They will be coming in at a little bit higher price point, but still seem to be a very nice model. A good one for Roka to get into. They have some neat detail variations between the different versions that they're doing, shown off here with some ladder configuration differences shown off. Excited to see these move on through the production process as well. They say they should have production samples fairly soon. Not sure exactly when they will deliver. Haven't seen an update exactly when that will be yet, but I'll keep you in the loop when I see anything else. I do have my eye on some of their fire tank cars. Thinking of grabbing a couple of those. I think that would be pretty neat, but still unsure just yet. Might fit that in the budget in the new year. But that's all we've got here from Roka. Let's move on to Sunset Models. And moving on to Sunset Models, or 3rd and Townsend, Golden Gate Depot, also are the same company now though, but we have some new sample shots of their 80-foot Harrimans at the Colorado Railroad Museum. I think they do look very nice. See some of those interior details and tons of roof detail on these models. I'm excited to see these move on through the production process. Still unpainted samples, of course. Pre-orders are still open through the end of the month if you're looking to grab some of these as well. Better shot there of the interior details. They have said that the lighting on the windows will be fixed a little bit once things are painted on the interior. Won't look quite so bright. Overall, seems to be another nice model coming from Sunset Models. But that's all we've got here from them. Let's move on to Rapido. And next up from Rapido, we have the first pre-production decorated samples of their upcoming run of CF7s. Very neat models with a face only a mother could love, if you will. Very nice details on these. There's currently no delivery estimate right now, but of course when I see something from Rapido, I'll keep you in the loop with them as well. But that's all here from Rapido. Let's finish off with Prairie Shadows. And moving on to Prairie Shadows, just a quick photo to share of their GP20C Eco. This is their production sample that they have in-house now, taken some photos of. So look to see more photos of this unit in next week's recap if they post those. So I'm hoping to see some neat ones of this. Been following this pretty closely. I think this one is going to be a very nice model. Little update, they should deliver in January or so look to see a delivery date confirmed when we see that publicized in a future recap. But that's all I have for you today for this recap video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you made it this far, please consider subscribing. It's completely free and helps me to make a few dollars, so really appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoyed as well, or just want to help out the algorithm. Drop me a hype if you have that feature available. And of course, a comment if you see anything that I missed, or if you have any updates you'd like to share with me. Love chatting with everybody. But thanks again for watching. Have a very nice Thanksgiving in the coming week, if you do celebrate that. And I hope you have a great rest of your week.